Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the full shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
Welcome to It's Movie Time. I'm Courtney DeSando, sitting in for John DeSando.
And I'm Felicity Beck.
Today we're talking about Bombshell, the brand new movie about the scandal at Fox News, starring Charlize Theron as Megyn Kelly,
Nicole Kidman as Gretchen Carlson,
and Margot Robbie as Kayla Popsicle. Didn't know her last name.
Me
now
either.
We do.
I did not. She was not one that I was familiar
blonde,
with.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, you're blonde. That's who
Yes.
she is. The young blonde.
The young token blonde, yes.
And John Lithgow doing an amazing job as Roger Ailes.
Amazing, yes.
And then we have Allison Janney, Malcolm McDowell, and
Kate McKinnon, who was amazing also. I love her anyway, but she did a great job, I
an
think.
understated lesbian. I thought was a nice role for her.
Yes, definitely.
So we're talking about this movie, which couldn't be more pertinent, I think, and timely. In fact, when I was seeing Charlize getting interviewed, she was talking about how she really started this at the beginning of the Me Too movement, and now here we are with all of these men being taken down.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal. I almost felt like I was watching like a current episode of one of the news shows or something, because everything was so current and just disappointing. But yeah, it was
Well, it's the story of Fox News. Really kind of gave us all a background in it, if you're not familiar with the Rupert Murdoch and how he owns it, and how basically the conservative people all are in one big building there in New York City, including the Wall Street Journal and other conservative outlets. And it's the hub of the conservative movement in Fox News, and it's the taking down of the head honcho and head creep,
yeah.
Roger Ailes.
Yeah, I didn't realize until when they were like describing the floors of the building and how it literally is all in one space, and the fact that
Yes.
you kind of watch the progression of like Margot Robbie's character. You know, she was the young, you know, she was looking to be this, you know,
Just like
top anchor. Yeah,
your daughters.
Yeah,
getting
you just
into the business.
Yeah,
You're trying to bring
you want to
in,
be this, you know,
any way you can.
any way you can. But what it showed was what these women, the treatment, the expectations, the
degradation.
Yeah, just everything was pretty
Amazing.
disgusting. And
So the story is that at the culture, within that culture, Megyn Kelly, it starts out with her at Trump's, it was
one of the debates.
One of the debates, and she threw out the question about, and said, you've called women pigs, and etc., and goes through the whole thing.
Yes.
And talks about how, and goes through what she went through after that. She went on a vacation, and things kind of started falling apart.
Right.
And so she was the target, and then about a year later, it looks like she kind of made up with him, and they had an interview, and everyone was like, what are you doing? Why are you letting this guy get away with it?
Right.
So on her end, she was having her own professional problems. And then at the same time, Gretchen Carlson, who, you know, full disclosure, Felicity knows fairly well.
Yeah, she is an acquaintance of mine. Her mother-in-law is one of my best friends. Her husband is a long family friend. I look at her in a little different light after this movie. I mean, I've always respected her and thought that she was just a very driven, amazing woman. But she had to have so much strength, and the fact that she put her name attached to what she did, you know, she really was the pioneer of this whole thing. And the fact that she really did do her homework, and she did figure out a way to get the last word, and to at least,
the very last word.
Yeah. But I think that other than her wigs, I did not like Nicole Kidman's hair. I'm sorry, I'm a hairdresser. They should have spent more money on Gretchen's hair. But other than that,
that gets to a really good point about Gretchen, though, and then we've talked about this before. I also know Casey Close, and I followed her because of Miss America and her career, and so I know a lot about her. And I always had great respect for her, but I always got the impression she was a Midwestern kind of a girl who was not really that beautiful, as opposed to Megyn Kelly, who is just stunning like an ice princess. And as Megyn Kelly is just kind of a little bit of a more puddly. Does that make sense? She's just not as striking as Megyn Kelly, but she seems such like a hard, worker.
I think she has so much drive, so much ambition. She has a great heart. I just think the type of woman she is, she's not real warm and fuzzy, but
Right.
that doesn't mean she's not obviously compassionate. It's just maybe she's had to be that way because of the field that she's in, and she's had to, put that armor up. But I mean, I know she's a great mom and a great
Didn't we say though about the kids? They could have used more attractive kids.
Yeah, their kids are beautiful.
The kids
so
are
that
way more attractive in real life.
So those are my two big complaints: her hair and the kids. But no, she. I think that they are. Having her be the leader. I don't think that the news. I think it kind of came out more that Megyn Kelly was the start of this, but really Gretchen was.
She was definitely it.
Fostering what had happened to her and what she was aware of what was going on, and she obviously had hit her wall with how just the treatment and I'm sure we don't even know half of the things that they were.
Well, she can't because she has a non-disclosure.
Yes,
She's not allowed. Gretchen Carlson herself cannot come out and tell us all the real story. But you do get the sense at the end, with the little wink, wink, nod, nod,
right,
that she's getting her word out there. I've seen her interviewed. She is definitely getting out there enough. But she is the pioneer of this, and I think we all owe her a debt of gratitude. That
my gosh,
come out. I mean, she got a little paycheck, though. There's nothing wrong with that $20 million.
Well, she donated it all, though.
She did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was, and I don't know the details, but I know it.
Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. It was, she either put it towards helping something in the same vein. Yeah, no, it was really admirable, but yeah,
the whole thing is admirable what she had to go through. I mean, it really is.
I feel like all those women. We were talking about, the Margot Robbie. When you see this girl that just is striving to just try to make a name for herself, and what you watch her kind of, get sucked into the web of what this gross man,
Yes. I mean, he made them stand and twirl. He would, he talked about their legs.
Yeah.
They could only wear their legs. They couldn't wear pants. He would call right from the booth or into the booth from where his office was and correct them all or tell them to wear the shorter skirts. I mean, it was just awful.
Yeah.
Really.
It just shows how it's.
What a culture.
Yes, and I mean, it's not been that long since this was going on, so it just tells you that.
A minute ago.
Yeah, it really was.
This is still really happening. I mean, she's still going through it, Gretchen Carlson, right now. I don't know about Megyn Kelly. I have a very little empathy for the Megyn Kelly character.
Yeah, I definitely felt more for Gretchen because, and then when she was trying to, she wanted the girl power thing, she was like,
hey, people come
on, support me, and then you're gonna.
Megyn Kelly's like, I'm gonna do this on my own, behind the scenes. I'm gonna do it really quietly. And because of her, it really did get the ball rolling. We didn't just have Gretchen, we had Megyn, we had them both, and that really took him down. But I did feel, I'm sure that was on purpose. And even Charlize was like, I didn't play her because I like her. I don't agree with any of her politics. I'm completely against this president. But I played her because it's so timely and it's so important what's going on.
Yes, and that's the thing, I think, with Gretchen. I felt empathy for her because I felt like they kind of threw her out in the cold. I mean, not only with her job, and the decline of that, but then also
she was in prime time and got moved to the afternoon, and then she started doing segments like no makeup.
Yeah.
That might not have been a good idea.
Well,
in that climate, maybe not.
Not in that climate, but I mean, again, I give her props for trying and for trying to say all of these standards that women have to try to live up to are, they're still very much a part of our world, but she's trying to say, I think it's not necessary and that we need to stand up and speak for ourselves and not have to be sexualized to obtain our goals.
Exactly. I think that's the theme. We don't need to sleep around to get ahead.
I mean...
No head for getting ahead.
Right.
Just saying. Just saying.
And so it would be time for you to say, and so, Felicity Beck, the movie is, what grade would you?
Okay. And Miss Felicity Beck, owner of Wacked Salon in Worthington, what would you give Bombshell as a rating?
I am going to give it a B+. I was very entertained. I learned a lot, knowing little tidbits of it from the news, but then to see the dynamics of the relationships behind the scene, I think it was informative. It was disgusting, but it was also, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie, other than
I'm
Gretchen's
gonna
wigs.
give it. The wigs were distracting. I'm gonna give it a C+. I mean, it was timely. I pretty much knew a lot of the information. I got to know Gretchen a little bit more, and that was great. But I really have a distaste for Megyn Kelly, so it was hard for me to spend a lot of time looking at her. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, why don't you end it with something about whether it's a holiday time film or something about the Me Too, the hashtag Me Too, if you want to. It's just an exit.
Okay. So, as far as it a holiday film, not really. Right?
No, I would say it's
but
not.
But as a woman empowerment, we're going to take down these creepy old men.
Use your power to empower.
No,